Everybody, Boxing Bow here. I got tagged in the snake tag challenge by Bryce at Righteous Reptiles. Big shout out to Bryce. Great kid. Does a lot of good videos. Definitely I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check his videos out and check him out. Great kid. Does a lot of good things. The first question is, how many snakes do you own? I'm not going to give an exact number because I do have a few little projects that I'm working on. Nothing crazy or anything like that, but I don't want to, it's something that I'm doing for myself, so I'm going to leave it at that. But I do own over 40 snakes. So that I will say that. So sorry I'm not going to give an exact number, but there's a few snakes I haven't posted on Instagram or on Facebook or on videos that I'm keeping, close to the vest. Just because they're long-term projects and takes time, and so over 40 snakes. My favorite species of snakes, question 2. Obviously boxing bow is what I go by, so obviously it's boa constrictors. When I was in first grade, I found this book and they had labeled, I think it was a Burmese python as an anaconda boa, and I was just fascinated by the boa in that picture. And there was a couple other like big snakes, like they had their retics and burns, but there's just something about boas and that just like blew me away, and that's why they're my favorite species ever since I was a kid. As far back as I can remember, boa constrictors are my favorite species. So question 3. If you could buy any snake in the world, what would it be? That's a hard question. There's so many great snakes out there, so many different morphs and natural snakes out there. For me, that's hard because I am a person that likes to get things and do the projects myself and work my way up to them projects. So if I could buy any snake in the world right now, what would it be? Honestly, man, that's tough because I really like to I like to get like hits and I like to get some visuals and really do it myself. But for me, I would honestly have to say a sharp Sunglow VPI Jungle Motley. That would be my dream boa constrictor. So that's how I'd answer that one, to be honest with you. Number 4 is, have you ever been bitten by a snake? Yes, I have. I've been bitten several times. Almost always exclusively by babies. So to answer that question, yes. The next question. What's the biggest snake I've been bitten by? That's pretty easy. I think it was biggest snake I've been bitten by was a 4-foot boa. Honestly, I haven't taken any big bites from any of my big snakes or anything like that. I never have. Not because I'm doing anything different than anybody else, other than I try to practice safe snake handling. And what I mean by that is I just don't reach in, like I don't come over the top of my snakes and grab and pick them up. I also don't reach in and come in face forward into their enclosure and just grab them. I'll take a snake hook and I'll rub back in their back area and see how they're feeling that day. Are they in the mood to get handled? I know every single one of my snakes. I know all their names. This is Deadpool. I know all their personalities, and so I will check to see what their temperament is that day. Are they in the mood to be handled? I also feed my snakes on certain days. Different snakes get fed on different days, but those snakes get always fed on those days. So I always know when I'm getting close to feeding, they're going to be a little bit more not agitated, active, because they know they're getting close to food. So therefore, I'm not going to handle those snakes on the day before or that day. Not because I can't, but because I respect their boundaries. And you gotta respect a snake's boundaries. You can't just expect it to be a dog or a cat. You gotta build up that trust with them. You gotta earn that trust. And then you gotta respect what that snake is telling you that day. So my biggest snake is probably a 4-foot boa. I haven't been bitten by any of my big ones. Knock on wood, yet. My first snake that I ever owned was an albino Burmese python my mom got for me when I was 15. I don't recommend that type of snake for your first snake, but at the same time, I was blessed with a mentor that owned big snakes, knew what he was doing. I had the right setup for it and was able to do it, and I had the right support. So, there's nothing wrong with getting a Burm as your first snake, but make sure you have a mentor on that, because it's important. It truly is. It's important to have a snake mentor. Next question I'm going to read over on the board I got. Who inspires me? Man, that's a easy but yet complicated question. In just life in general, my mom, and then obviously Brooke, my wife, inspires me. My mom took me in when I was 15 years old. Nobody wanted me. No, she's not my biological mother, but she is my mom. She took me in when I was 15 years old, when everybody gave up on me, and she didn't. She's always been there for me. She's the strongest person that I know. I'm trying not to cry, but I'm a mama's boy, but yeah, my mom definitely is my greatest inspiration in life. She's everything to me. She's fierce, she's strong, she supports me in everything. I mean, it don't matter what I do when I was a fighter. I mean, she was driving me everywhere. I mean, I did over 300 Taekwondo tournaments. I do some tournaments, two tournaments in a weekend. When I had a Muay Thai fight in Michigan or in California, she would take me. Training, I was training 6 to 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'd go do 2 hours of Taekwondo, 2 hours of boxing, 2 hours of Muay Thai. I'd do a good hour of jiu-jitsu, and I mean, and then lifting and running, and so and then with snakes, didn't matter what snakes I got, she supports me in all of them. Tarantulas, my daughter wanted tarantulas, I started bringing tarantulas home. My mom was afraid of tarantulas, but now we have 7, so I mean, my mom is honestly my greatest inspiration. Truly is. Without her, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have the things I have in my life. And so that is my true inspiration. She pushes me to be a better husband, a better father, a better son, a better man. She is everything to me in the world, and without her, I would have nothing. I'd be nothing. So that's who inspires me. That's who truly inspires me. If you're talking about snakes and things like that, I look up to Steve Irwin. He was a great man. I mean, he inspired me to do more. Governor that balls you. I mean, he inspires me a lot with his videos and his vast knowledge and the things he does with his ball pythons. I mean, he just did a video today about cleaning above the ball python rack. I never even thought of that. I mean, he expanded my knowledge. Granddaddy Hertz Anthony, with his knowledge of garter snakes and ball pythons, and he inspired me. Dare Night Exotics. I mean, he's my mentor with my tarantulas. I mean, his videos are amazing, and he inspires me, and he's an inspiration to me to learn more. I mean, he just, God bless that man. He sent me his personal book, The Trancer's Keeper's Guide, and he wrote a nice little note here. And I mean, so that he really inspires me. I mean, I belong to so many forums. I mean, Dave, Cooper, David, also, you know who you are. George, I mean, Ed Lilly, with all his carpet pythons. This is where I've gotten almost all my carpet pythons. Oh, I mean, I'm sorry if I'm leaving anybody out. I am not mean to you. All know who you are. I mean, there are so many people that inspire me in the reptile community every day. I am truly blessed to be a part of the reptile community. I mean, Riley is another one. I mean, he works at a zoo. He does great things with zoo. He also does a lot of, he goes out and educates the public. I mean, oh man, I don't want to leave anybody out. I'm sorry. I will do a video of all you people. So if I didn't mention you, I do apologize. It's not because I'm not thinking of your name or anything. It's just, I could go on so long about who inspires me in the reptile community. It's not even funny. Because there's so many great YouTube channels out there, so many great Facebook things out there of just amazing things. Every day I'm inspired by these people. I mean, just every day there's something that just, oh wow. And so there's a lot of inspiration. So that'd be that's my long answer to that. Another question: will I ever own a venomous or hot snake? The simple answer to that is no. Reason being is I don't have a proper mentor. And for me, a proper mentor would be Viper Keeper. So unless I moved and he became my mentor, no, I won't own a hot. I'm sorry. I don't think just because a state allows you to have it, whether you get mentoring or not, without proper mentoring, no, I won't own a hot. What do I find interesting about snakes? Honestly, that's another big long question. What don't I find interesting about snakes? I mean, from their muscle contraction to the way they move to their bodies and how each one's different, to the colors, to the eyes, to the nose, to the tongue. I mean, I could just go on and on about things that I find interesting. I mean, they just truly bring out my passion and inspiration and just desire and knowledge to learn and educate myself. There's so many fascinating things. I can't just name one. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate it. I want to extend this challenge to Michael at Day and Night Exotics, Michael at Creative Creations, and anybody else that wants to do this, please. I ask you to do this. Also, Granddaddy Herps, if you could do a video, and Lenny, if you could do this, I would appreciate it, and anybody else. So anyway, you guys have a good day. This is Boxing Ball. Peace.